What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video, and time is really ticking. We are less than 2 months away from the start of the Geoguessr World Cup in Stockholm, Sweden. And if you didn't remember, I'll be there as well as many of the best players in the world, and I'm just so looking forward to getting there and doing my best to get a deep run in the tournament. Now when it comes to Geoguessr, it's very important to practice your weaknesses, and one of the big gaps in my game is Argentina. This has never been a strong country for me. It is a country I don't mind guessing in, it can be quite fun. But in the center of the country, I'm pretty useless. So today I really want to get some grind in and see if we can improve on that. And you guys can see over the next half hour if I can come up with any patterns or anything like that, and hopefully we can pull some nice games. Guys, before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to Lupus. He's a German pro player, been around the community for quite a long time. And he has a YouTube channel where he recently made like a documentary style video. It's 2 hours long, super well edited. And it just shows the story of this particular record category which he was running. I don't know if I've sold it well enough, but this is a truly special video, probably one of the best Geoguessr videos made in a long time. So I'll have it linked in the description. Go check it out once you've watched this video, because I would call it quite worth the watch. Anyway, back over here, let's see how we can go playing some Argentina here today. I think basically, and it's always been my philosophy, if you want to get good at Geoguessr and you have a particular area that you're weak in, just get into that map, play it a bunch, notice where you make mistakes, and then hopefully you can fix those in the future and you become a much stronger player at the end of it. Also, give the video a like if you're enjoying my channel. Also subscribe, would be much appreciated. And here we go for the first round of the day. So what I'm noticing about this one is that it's quite green and quite like, I can notice that there's quite like dense vegetation here. So I would expect this to be north of Cordoba, I think. It could be down to La Pampa, but I think it's somewhere in this region here. Now Santiago kind of made sense to me here, although I feel like there's a bunch of options that actually can work quite nicely. And beyond that, I'm really not sure here. So I think I'll just go for this guess, because I do think it's a bit further north, but let's see how we go. And it was a bit further north there. So that's a 1.9k score. You can see that even though Argentina goes all the way down to here, this is only 1.9k. So I think the goal for the video should be like a 15,000 score or something like that. Regardless, that's pretty good. Only one province over. So yeah, so through to the next round here. This is also a north vibe, I would say. This time more northwestern. So I'm looking for any mountains. That's quite important on Argentina. Poles are very standard. And yeah, I guess, okay, what makes me say northwest is kind of these kind of salty bush kind of looking trees here. For whatever reason, just more common there. And then also very green grass, which is also kind of fake grass. You can see it's not proper like grass you'd see on like your lawn at home. It's kind of more made of these bigger leaves. So yeah, I would say this is like putting us somewhere salter or something like that here. Alternatively, just any of these provinces up here, San Miguel and these ones as well. So I'm just going to go Salta here, and it was indeed the next one down in Santiago, but that's still a good score, 2.3k. Next one here, very different vibe. Obviously, Argentina is pretty diverse. So we do have fairly, I mean, it's very sunny here, which you often don't see in Patagonia. Patagonia, obviously, is probably where we are with the lack of vegetation, but it is a bit strange for that. We do have bushes here, like these are fairly sizable bushes, so I wouldn't say it's too far north, or too far south, I mean, because as you head further and further south, the bushes get smaller and smaller, closer and closer to the ground, whereas this one, yeah, we do see some fairly sizable vegetation, even if it is on the ground itself. So I think Chubut probably makes the most sense here. I could definitely see Santa Cruz still working, and then also Rio Negro also being a pretty good option here. So maybe I'm kind of between these two. I could pick like a middle road here or something like that. I think at this point also road angle is something that's worth picking up on, just because it can help you get a realistic guess if you happen to pick the right kind of stretch of road. And I'm looking at this here is actually looking pretty good. So I think I would try this, and let's also see if we have the railroad running along here. Doesn't look like we do. So, I mean, if we were on this exact stretch, we'd see the railroad, but I'm gonna try that anyway. And okay, well, it's just a little bit further up here. We still don't get the province, right? It's actually in New Ken province, but all things considered, that's a good region guess, and 3.2k. So no fails yet, so happy with that. Next one here, we have like another one of these standard poles. They're quite common in Buenos Aires province, I think. So immediately thinking of that here. Although I think the grass almost felt a little bit further north again, just where it is kind of yellowish green. But I'm going to look at the rest of the round here. It's very flat, which I do like for Buenos Aires province. It's quite a flat province all in all. And yeah, we see a lot of these like very standard poles as well. So maybe just an inland Buenos Aires here where it gets a little drier maybe during the summer. And it could also just be Santa Fe, could also see Cordoba, or maybe even Entre Rios. But I'm going to go for Buenos Aires here. Again, it was further north there, so I did get the vibe off that grass. Unfortunately, the rest of the round, being so flat, didn't remind me of there, but of course you do like get flatness as soon as you head away from the mountains. So what can we say there? That's definitely a learning type round, so let's just head back into here quickly again and see. So maybe looking at the trees more here, it is very densely vegetated, like tons of like random stuff going on in there. And then it's not actually that agricultural, like, okay, it is pretty agricultural, but this field doesn't look like it's highly cultivated. There are random trees standing in between it. So yeah, I would say that is not quite actually a good guess there for Buenos Aires. I think it's definitely not really feeling that in hindsight. This one looks like Brazil, so you click in the panhandle. If you take anything away from this video, if you get a red dirt Argentina, then you should probably click in Misiones province or in Corrientes possibly. But yeah, this one's very forested, so it feels more like Misiones. So yeah, if you're going to take anything away from this video, you're a bit of a noob, we'll definitely guess like this, and you'll get 3 points. And indeed, that was right on the board. It doesn't surprise me at all. But there we go. So that was a decent score there. 11.9, I think, is actually pretty good for me on Argentina. I'm sure we'll see lower scores this video. Regardless here we have a pole top. Pole tops can be useful in Argentina. Now, if I was thinking this was any, I don't think it's La Rioja. But it could have been like a Catamarca or a San Juan or something like that. So I'm not sure. We actually do have the name of the, or the kilometers from the town here. I'm noticing also this is a concrete road, so maybe that could be useful here. But yeah, we have like kind of north-ish mountains here, and this is the angle of the divided highway. Like, it's pretty distinctive this round. Again, we have pretty big trees, but they're not too lush this time, and yes, we see a lot in this field, but nothing too crazy. With a north mountain range, could this actually just be Cordoba? Yes, normally you see east to west mountains here, but to be fair, like, it's also kind of rare to see north mountains around here as well. What about this kind of thing? Would this be a divided highway? Probably not, right? Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, there's quite a few factors that go into Argentina. That's what makes it kind of more of a logic-based one. You have to think about the mountains, think about the vegetation, think about the road angle. That's the three things. And a lot of more other countries, you just kind of click in there. So yeah, it's kind of interesting in that way, right? I'm thinking it's a bit further north here. I might go Catamarca here. That's in Catamarca province. I feel like that could fit for the poll as well. But just as well, like, San Juan also seems pretty good here. Could see it like being this. This is a divided highway, I doubt it as well. It's not, yeah. Just looking for places where there are mountains north like we have there. You know what? I just don't know if you have a divided highway there. Maybe downtown Catamarca could actually work better for this reason. I'm going to try that instead. And okay, it was further down here in Mendoza province, or San Luis province. And the mountains there are pretty small. That's that probably that we're looking at. Yeah. Okay, and then it's mountains west, theoretically. Interesting. I'm not really sure what we could see there. Maybe they were more west than I thought. Or maybe it's just, yeah, some of these smaller ridges that we could see. Probably the latter. But yeah, okay, not the best score. Next one here definitely feels further north. Just like long grass on the side of the road. Just like thinking about the latitude in Australia, it feels more like Queensland. So given that vibe, I think definitely north is feeling good here. And the rest of the round, I don't know, not too much here. We have a lot of like birds' nests inside the poles here, which is kind of interesting. That is also something you see more so in Brazil. So I definitely like maybe like a Corrientes, Chacao here or something like that. Probably pronounced that wrong, sorry. We got a fairly east-west road here, so we could definitely pick a province that has a few more east-west roads. This one certainly doesn't. But maybe like the next one over. I don't know, there's actually not too many east-west options here, I think. And this is why road angle is so important on Argentina, because I've looked around a little bit here and there are actually hardly any east-west options here. Like, this could even work quite nicely, just because I've actually looked all around here where I initially thought it wasn't. There's almost nothing. So then, do we see any mountains west? We don't. But I feel like actually here, we're distant enough that that we wouldn't see mountains necessarily. The problem is I feel like their angle was slightly, ever so slightly different. Like, it's more, you know what? It actually fits well enough. So I'm going to try that. All in all, I don't think it's there. I probably would have gone further east here, but I don't really see the option. So, what about this one? Yeah, no, this actually does kind of fit better in my opinion. Nope, I'm gonna try where we had it, just because I want to. Let's see. And okay, it was this one instead. So we were looking at the 4 there, right? We were looking at something over here, but yeah, the 30. So that would have been better, but still not a bad guess. We got the north vibe, and latitude is still a big part of it. This one feels like Ushuaia, I think. So yeah, like these kind of like very southern feeling trees. They're thin, but they are also like, I don't know, they're also pretty leafy as well, more than you'd expect probably. And then we have like snow-capped mountains around the place, but they're not very tall. So I'd expect we're somewhere on this road, I imagine. We are going east to west here, so this is definitely 5Kable. But given the angle, I guess we should just try something like this. I mean, this kind of thing should work quite nicely. Okay, it was further up this direction. Probably could have worked it out with the mountains north being a bit further distant, but that's still a good score. Actually, the best, I think it's the only time we got the province right so far, right? Because we were always like one away. But there you go. Okay, next one here. Also has like a very strong south vibe. But again, we have these like kind of bigger bushes, which I'm thinking is actually meaning that we are a bit further north than one may expect here. Or maybe even far north. It is possible still, I think. Even though it has a bit of a Patagonian vibe because of the overcastness. We have like all kinds of like smaller mountains here, which is quite interesting to me. I'm not really sure what the meaning of that should be. But yeah, lots of wooden poles here going on. Not entirely surprising, but definitely probably somewhat regionally specific. I'm actually thinking like Mendoza and New Ken here, probably most likely. Ultimately, I think New Ken is better here, maybe even Chubut, but I'm just thinking like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was north. Yeah, I mean, last time we had a similar poll to that, it ended up being in Mendoza province, so maybe I'll just click on the south border of the Mendoza province, because, actually no, it was San Luis. But I don't think this is San Luis. I think it's that would be too far north. So yeah, we'll click New Ken here. Let's just see what it is. And it was just over the border in Mendoza. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So honestly, like the logic is working pretty well. I'm just worried that when it's the World Cup, like I'm under that pressure, I want to like have a more solid structure, solid base of understanding, so that when it's like 10 seconds per round, something like that, then I'm going better. But this one, I would say, is like standard north, very dense vegetation. And yeah, we have standard poles here. This is nothing special. So let's get the angle here. Wow, the computer is lagging a little bit. But this is the angle. So this one's feeling more like one of these angles up here, right? So I'm not exactly sure which road it would be, but just picking one of these highways. It's likely that at least some of them are Generation 3 still, so I'm just going to go like that. And okay, it was much further south there. Just unfortunately a bit of a similar angle to that stuff you have up there. I didn't line it up completely properly. We can see we're actually like 3 provinces away there, maybe even 4. So yeah, not the best there. I mean, it was fairly north still, so not a terrible vibe, but yeah, I feel like Formosa, it probably would feel a bit more tropical. Again, 11K there probably helped out quite a lot by the Ushuaia around there, but still not too bad at all. So let's head through here. I mean, if I can keep above 10K, that's a dub. Okay, this one now is feeling more like Buenos Aires. We have Buenos Aires poles, I would say. This one is actually kind of very temperate feeling, tons of like agriculture. Even though this field is just filled with tufts of grass, I still feel like this is actually pretty good. I don't think there's any clues there. Honestly, in Argentina, there hardly are any clues. Generally speaking, not too many. But this one's also perfectly north-south, so that I think is kind of interesting. Like, it's probably more common in other provinces, to be honest with you. But we do have a few examples here, like this one. So I guess we can, you know, hedge our bets here. And honestly, I still really like Buenos Aires. So yeah, I think I'll go on this road here. It's feeling pretty nice, I think. And okay, it was Corrientes instead. Damn. Okay, so this mistake has been made twice now, where it was much further north than I thought. I can see it though. Like I don't know. Also, we didn't actually have the proper agriculture. It was just tufts of grass, so maybe that will actually be a little bit of a meta for next time. Next one here is almost certainly, to me, like maximum northwest here, like Salta or something like that here. I don't really know how it works with the Generation 4, if it actually goes all the way up to the very top of the country, but I would say somewhere in this region, right? Because it's mountainous, but it's very dense in vegetation, and it's quite tropical. So I'm just going to go for that. And it was just down, actually all the way down past San Miguel. So So that's actually in Catamarca. Didn't expect that. Still a good score, I guess, all things considered. Next one here. Interesting, like very urban here, so I'm trying to get any vibe I can off anything that's going on urban here. We have an American truck. It's kind of interesting. This could have almost felt a bit Mexican for that reason. We have like palms here, and we have like a lot of jacaranda trees, which are common in Australia, more common in the north of Australia as well. So I'm thinking this is a bit further north in the country. Now, there is a meta I wanted to say, where you have these kind of raised water tanks on these like concrete blocks. That is meant to be something that happens more near the mountains here. So I would be thinking maybe Catamarca or something like that here. Maybe like a dry San Miguel, but I think Catamarca area is working quite nicely, honestly. I'm gonna go for this because I think it's San Juan anywhere up to Catamarca, and I think it's like in this kind of region. Maybe even San Juan would just be a bit safer. Now, do we see any mountains? We should be able to see some mountains here, though we don't any to the south, nor to the north. So I feel like the buildings are just blocking it here, but actually let's go in this city here. Well, I mean, it's a bit silly to line up the angle, but all things considered, kind of seems at least somewhat similar. So let's go on this street here, which has the same angle. And okay, was actually, yeah, in that northwest region, not too bad. It was in Santiago. So yeah, I mean, 2 provinces over, it's okay. But I guess the fact that it was so flat could have been a bit of a clue to us there. But it was that kind of further north vibe. Next one here, Super Red, which is interesting. It should be another northwestern one in the mountains here, you would expect. With the Super Red, I'm thinking of maybe Catamarca again here. Maybe even further north, but I feel like it's a bit whiter here and it's a bit redder down here. Let's just give this a go. Okay, it was a bit further down there indeed, in La Rioja, so that's okay. Next one here, last one for this seed. Okay, so again, we have this standard pole top, which again, we've been burnt by twice now. And I think this is further north again, honestly. We haven't had any Buenos Aires today, but yes, this is vegetated and cultivated, but this one, again, we have like the random trees growing in the fields here. And yeah, for that reason, I'm thinking we do kind of send this a bit further north. Yeah, again, like lots of random tufts of stuff growing in the grass here. So I'm gonna try Corrientes here, guys. I don't know what to say. I feel like this is the guess we've been missing the last few times. And okay, this time was actually Buenos Aires. So there you go. Clearly a little bit of work to do there. I don't know, like, yeah, just swap these 2 guesses and it's a 10k seed, but unfortunately, that's not the way it works. So, yeah, but this is what learning's all about, right? Okay, jumping back in here, immediately noticing that the vegetation is quite low on this round. Yes, we do have some bigger bushes, but a lot of them are very small. And then we also have like a very distinctive blue lake over here. So this is definitely feeling quite Patagonian, in my opinion. So let's get into the map here. I think Chubut is a decent option. I also think Santa Cruz actually may be kind of more likely on this occasion. Something like this actually immediately looks pretty decent. So I may just send that. But yeah, somewhere like on a road like this feels like it could be correct. Honestly, I think this latitude's pretty decent. So I'm gonna send this one in here. And yeah, we actually picked the right area there. So that's definitely the guess of the video so far, by far and away. And yeah, it was the other lake there, but no complaining about that at all. Okay, next one here. This feels north to me. Yeah, just dense vegetation, no agriculture going on. And that is the routing we are working with here. So definitely findable. But of course, you guys know me. It's not really, I'm not going to be finding right angles here, but this one looks correct. So let's just go for that. And okay, this is now maybe the worst guess of the video because I got a very strong north vibe there. One I would definitely be happy to insta-send. And this is what's a bit confusing. I think the fact that like the lens is a bit like fogged up made me think it was like very moist. I mean, it is very like cloudy on this day. I guess, yeah, you can see in the grass though that it's not quite as tropical as I thought. But this is very difficult. I think I really thought this was quite north. So need to be more critical about that kind of thought, but still, I still think I go north here, so that's difficult round for sure. 200 points only there. How is that so far north? I don't know. Or south. Next one here, we have very small vegetation. This one feels like it's going to be quite southern to me indeed. So I'm thinking this is Santa Cruz again, but even further south, like maybe this kind of direction here. I'm just going to go for it. Ooh, this one was a bit further north. It was Santa Cruz, and it was right near the other one we just had. So unfortunately not getting the vibe twice in a row there. Though the vegetation felt quite different there. I guess it's because we were a bit more elevated, so that was a bit difficult. Okay, this is a region I think I know. Lots of poplar trees. I'm taking a look around here. Definitely seems like, yeah, it's tons of poplar trees. When you see this many, think like around New Ken General Roca here is the play. And I think just like the way we have like a lot of like kind of agriculture here, like fruit growing and stuff, feels like we are near the river. I feel like this is a very strong guess. Then we also should have the right road angle here as well, theoretically, and that is honestly looking perfect, right? Well, maybe it is actually slightly different here. So maybe we can just go further up here and find a section that fits better. It could also be further over this direction here, around Trello. You get your own kind of very different, is it Trello? Yeah, you get a different kind of grid here. This grid's definitely not the Trello grid there. So I think, yeah, with the poplar trees, we should just go this area anyway. Yeah, a little bit concerning about the road angle though. It is not quite the right one that I wanted to see. And yet, I still think I'll send. We could actually check over here as well. Yeah, maybe this direction here also could have some. Nah, I'm just gonna go there. I think it's right. And yeah, it was. Okay, it was just like a more main road, that's why. Yeah, slightly different angle there. But yeah, had that vibe. And with that many poplars, just go there. Should be good. Okay, so this seed still has some promise to be our best one. And here we have what looks... That's interesting, isn't it? So we have a bunch of that fake grass that I was associating more with north. I still think these trees look quite northern as well. We have a lot of white dirt here. Yeah, so this... The problem is that it kind of looks like the brown we just had on this road here. And yet, I do believe this is further north, maybe like around here or something like that. It is very flat. And to be honest, I don't see a fantastic amount of evidence that it's super tropical. So we may actually have to tone down our guess a bit and go further south, but it's like not very agricultural, as I've said, and I still think that is a meta, even if it hasn't worked that well in this video so far. So I'm gonna send here. I hope it's not further north, because then I really just don't think I have the vibes on, but I'm just gonna go like that. And it was further north, but not too far. That's okay. I was just hoping it wasn't all the way north. So there we go, 13.5 there, even with that terrible guess. We had 2 or 3 good ones, so that's pretty good, but I still want the 20k. So let's see what we get next one here. At least 15 would be nice. So the grass feels a bit further south this time. This feels kind of like a cold climate. This is fairly agricultural as well. We have mountains there. So could those be the kind of mountains that you see like near Mar del Plata or something like that? You do get those kind of mountains around here. I think the tree rows also feel kind of good, so I might just send that. You do just get like a bunch of random mountains along this kind of south part of Buenos Aires here. Now, my other thought would be Cordoba, I guess, with the random mountains. But these aren't huge mountains. These are just kind of sizable but small. And they're fairly isolated as well. So I think I like this guess better. Let's test it out. And it was that area here, Bahia Blanca. Yeah, those are the mountains we're looking at. Okay, pretty gettable. Honestly, getting the right province there. 3.1k is pretty good. Okay, next one here, northwest. You can see bigger trees, so it should be further north here. I think I would just instantly send this like one like San Juan or something like that. But in hindsight, it could just be further north. So I'm gonna hedge it in Catamarca instead. And it was in San Juan, but that's okay. Pretty good score. Next one here, north. Surely this is north with this vegetation, but it looks very similar to the last one we went south. So, yeah, it's just super dense. It's what makes me want to go north here. What is that on the road there? Surely it's a bird flying across, but that's kind of interesting. We have the highway number there. It's too blurry to read. Yeah, this is the exact type of round that everyone struggles with, I think. And I don't really have a good idea here. So, yeah, I think I'm going to hedge in the middle here. I think I'm just going to go Cordoba, because I don't really get a strong vibe. And I still will. It's a bit futile. I don't think I'm good enough at region guessing to make the road angle searching like worthwhile, but I'm just going to go Cordoba, and it was max north there. So I got the north vibe, and yeah, it just looks too similar to a round we had like 1.5k kilometers away, if not more, 1.7k kilometers away. So yeah, that's difficult, guys. I don't know, like this is anyone who's skilled at Argentina in the comments could tell me what I did wrong there, but That's interesting to me. And we have a huge cactus. So I think this is a bit further north too. This one could be even as far north as the last one, but I think I would click maybe like Santiago here. Okay, it was even further north there. So probably the cacti. I mean, I think you can see those maybe around Santa Cruz, so that would make sense. But yeah, also a difficult one. Next one here feels like the last one we had near Bahia Blanca. Yeah, we don't really have the legible highway number there. So I'm just going to try that, go based on vibes here. And, okay, that was Santa Fe. 8,000 points there. Even after a really good start, that really went to crap. So this was like a average seed, I think. Okay, this is now Bahia Blanca again, I think. Well, I thought it last time, but this time well, it's either Cordoba or there. We have a lot of... Yeah, the fact that it's all directions, these mountains, is very interesting to me, and yet they're all kind of like weird and random, so let's take a look. If we were here, yeah, what about this? Yeah, I feel like we're like in the midst of all these mountains, right? And so we'd hope to see the biggest ones kind of southwest, and we do kind of, so that's at least something. The road's pretty straight though, and it's going like that, so it may actually not work here. I don't know if we actually have anything that's going to fit quite nicely, but I do think this kind of area, it works, right? And then we can probably find other isolated examples like this one here. Ooh. So if we were like, I'm not sure if we're going to get the right angle here, but this whole like little section of mountains, but you can see what I mean, like there's a lot around this section. So I'm just going to hedge it here. And yeah, it was these ones, was it? Oh no, it was those ones. I skipped over this road angle, but that's still good. That's still good. 3.5, 3.9. It's very good. Okay, next one here. If we can end on a high note, I'd very much like that. We got the white car here. That's kind of interesting. Would be a difficult round on its own, I think. This one I immediately thought of like Mendoza or something like that, or like a weird New Ken or something like that, just because I don't know. It's sandy, but it feels very southern in a way, or like not very southern, but has south vibes. Red soil as well. I kind of like for that direction. It's difficult, guys. Maybe even San Luis could work here. La Pampa, anything like that, I think are pretty good options here. This is just difficult. But I'm gonna go like, yeah, I am gonna go Mendoza here. But I don't see anywhere I particularly like. That's the problem. It's somewhere in this region, I think. I'm gonna go here. Let's go for that. Okay, it was a bit further north there. La Rioja, it's okay, I guess. Next one here, gonna be somewhere in Patagonia. Very flat. Well, not very flat, but relatively flat. Trees are pretty small here, although we do have some bigger ones. So I would be thinking Chubut here. And I think I like Chubut here. I'm gonna go with a fairly... I'm just gonna central Chubut hedge here. And okay, well, I was thinking of switching to this area here because the road was pretty wide, and it's a meta that you get wide roads near the Puerto Madryn peninsula. So yeah, that's a good guess though. Good. Next one here, we got palms. This should be an insta send for Formosa, I would say. Maybe Corrientes, something like that. It's very flat here. Yeah, and I think I'm happy to go. Let's go for it. Okay, man, even Santa Fe. That's wild. But still a good score, I guess. It's okay, at least. And the last one here is red soil. And looking very Brazilian. This is interesting to me. I would probably go Brazil here. So there's the pole top here. I would say that if it's looking so Brazilian, that's probably Corrientes or Chaco here, something like that. I think that feels best. Yeah, I think Corrientes, just because of the red soil. So maybe like near this national park or something like that. Road angle here is maybe actually useful on a round like this. I think we could probably, yeah, search out and maybe even could be like somewhere like this. I kind of like that, you know, just because it looks so much like Brazil. It would make sense for us to like be near the Panhandle. Paraguay also has red soil famously, so I'm gonna go for this road. I think it could be right. And okay, was actually kind of on the same road system there, a bit further over, and that's gonna be a 12k. Honestly, the region guesses they were good. I think this round could have had some improvement, but that was a hard one. Okay, let's go for some speed ones at the end here. So I hit exit, and then we'll go for some 10-second NMPZ, see if we can pull some nice ones there, because I guess that's kind of always been my favorite format. and it is kind of a great test of skill. So we'll just do 1 or 2 seeds of this and see if there's going to be any advantage to it. Okay, we have our first urban round of the video, which is fine. Urban's a bit more easy. And I think I will send this one in Buenos Aires. I don't really see a better option than it was. So that's obviously the best guess of the video in terms of kilometers so far, 3.3. So let's head through to the next one here. This one, yeah, the trees are pretty small, but not too small. I would be thinking, yeah, like kind of middle Chubut here, maybe something like that here. It was pretty north there in Rio Negro, so that's okay. 1.4k is okay. Next one here, lots of smudges here. This is quite far south, I think, though. Santa Cruz. I'm just gonna go here, maybe. Okay, that was a good guess. Yeah, I think actually using the vegetation is pretty strong. So there we go. We're already on a good score here. Next one here. Okay, this is like, is it a direct repeat? If it is, then we were in Santa Fe, I believe. Like here somewhere? Okay, that's good. I think that was actually a direct repeat. This map has 60,000 locations, so that's pretty rare. We'll get 4K, so this is going to be the best seed of the video, actually. This is going to be all the way south, I think. Now, is it going to be on... I could actually see this being here. I think I'm going to go for it. And it was, wow. Okay, there we go. 18,000. 10-second NMPZ is definitely my format. Although we had the capital city to help out there, but that was a really nice seed. So, okay, that was interesting. Let's go for one more. Ooh, this is really cool mountains here. Bushes are fairly big. Don't really know what I think here. I'm just gonna go like this, I guess. I'm not really sure where. That's a good guess as well. Get in the province. Man, 10 seconds NMPZ has been treating us nicely. Next one here. This should be that far north stuff with these palms. Well, as we saw, they were here last time. So I'm gonna hedge it here between the different options, I think. And yeah, this one was Formosa. I think these palms should normally mean you click Formosa. Next one here. These pole tops are interesting, but this also gives me a bit of a New Ken vibe, I think. Anywhere from there to Trello, but I'll go New Ken, and it was. Man, 10-second MPZ, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, next one here. Very far south. Could be TDF, but I think I'll just click all the way south here instead. Like this kind of region here, maybe. Oh, that was all the way up there. It was still Santa Cruz, but much further north than I thought. Okay, still good. Next one here, Tree Rose. Queensland pole top. It's interesting. I think this looks like Entre Rios, maybe, with the tree rows. Kind of looks like Uruguay, right? So we'll give that a go. Okay, it was Corrientes. I think that's the second option on around like that. 13.8. Also pretty good there, guys. Honestly, just missing the province by 1 or 2 most times here. This, I think, looks like La Rioja or something like that. And yeah, we got the province there. Very nice. Basically, we got the road. Clean stuff. Next one here. This is Ushuaia, I think. Or nearby. Probably like on one of these roads here. I'm gonna give that a go. See if it could be correct. Okay, it was. Nice. Wow. Really good start to the seed. Next one here. Ooh, big mountains there to our east. So that would make us near Cordoba, I think. So like this kind of region here, maybe. Oh no. Okay, it was the Bahia Blanca ones again. Interesting. I wish I had a bit more long to look at that one, because I feel like it was actually gettable, but yeah, still fine. Because I had to be one of the two. Next one here, pretty far north, I think. Lots of trees going on here. Looks like we're driving left-hand side of the road. I think I would try Corrientes here. No, don't really have a strong vibe on it, though. And it was Corrientes, so that's really nice. On the Brazilian border. Honestly, these guesses have been better than when I was looking around, so it's pretty crazy. And the last one here, very dense vegetation, but not much of a vibe. I'm going to go Santiago here. And it was just up there. Man, look at that, 16.6, 10-second NMPZ. And we could have gotten that too, which would have immediately put us to like 20k. So, yeah, pretty wild there. I think I'm going to end it there. I don't really know what to make of this, what the moral of the story is here, but definitely I'm better on 10-second NMPZ, relative to, this just proves I'm an NMPZ player, right? I don't know. But we had fun with Argentina. Give the video a like, go watch Lupus's video. Also quickly, go check out my Geoguessr Explained channel. I will be posting some more videos like this over there. And yeah guys, thanks for watching, goodbye.